to begin with the explosive news about President Trump and Russia. It involves Donald Trump Jr. Breaking in the last 30 minutes, the New York Times reporting that Trump Jr. met with a Russian lawyer last year during the campaign after being promised damaging information on Hillary Clinton. Now, this directly contradicts what Don Jr. told NBC News on Saturday when he confirmed that this meeting happened in June of 2016, saying he was asked to attend by an acquaintance, but was not told the name of the person he would be meeting with, and said it was about Russian adoption policies, those that had been stopped, of Americans wishing to adopt Russian babies. Now, if the Times report is accurate, it would be the first evidence of someone very close to Trump, his own son, meeting with the Russians to try to damage Hillary Clinton. Also, according to the Times reporting, that Don Jr. brought in Paul Manafort and Jared Kushner, all working on the campaign. Paul Manafort working as the campaign manager at the time. Don Jr. requested they attend this meeting. All of this coming after President Trump spoke out about that meeting with Vladimir Putin in an early morning tweet storm, but the president refused to make clear whether he believed Putin's hacking denials, saying he's already given his opinion on that matter. The problem, he gave 3 different opinions this week, all in the same press conference about it. Take a look.
I think it was Russia. I think it was probably other people and/or countries. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows for sure.
White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus went directly on the record saying the president doesn't believe Putin.
The president absolutely did not believe the denial of President Putin. What the president did is he immediately came into the meeting, talked about Russian meddling in the U.S. election, went after that issue at least 2 separate times.
Stand by.
So the president provided more details of his meeting, but they were full of contradictions. So if you saw them for yourselves, we'll go over it step by step. In one tweet this morning before the Sunday shows, Trump says he pressed Putin strongly on Russian meddling. Now, in the next, he announced hopes of implementing a, quote, impenetrable cybersecurity unit with Russia, the very people the U.S. intelligence agencies said collectively had hacked our election. Now, this brought ridicule from Russian hawks. Marco Rubio compared it to forming a chemical weapons unit with Syria's Assad, and Lindsey Graham, also not a fan of the idea.
It's not the dumbest idea I've ever heard, but it's pretty close. He gave a really good speech in Poland, President Trump did, and he had what I think is a disastrous meeting with President Putin.
Now, we also learned that sanctions were not even discussed in the meeting with Putin. The president saying it was time to move forward, no further punishment for attacking U.S. elections. Now, the Treasury Secretary, Steven Mnuchin, defended the president on it.
Are sanctions off the table now?
I'm not going to, well, what I would say is, first of all, we have sanctions that are already on the table, and we expect to enforce those sanctions.